Well.
You remember how to do this, man? Do I need to come sit
No, it's just fine. I just need to adjust a couple things here real quick, and
It's all right. It gives me a chance to do this.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh yeah.
freshly back from the blocks, Angry Patrick.
That's right, baby. He is back and better than ever. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can bring that down a little bit. See if I can zoom this in some. Oh, well, there. I like that view.
There you
go. Back to that other view there, Brandon. That was a good view. Where was that? Hold on. No.
That one?
Yeah, that one right there. That looks good.
There you go.
I like that view. I like that. Let's stay there for a minute. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, man.
Welcome back to
myself,
you. Yeah,
that is.
to you.
Welcome to everybody. Good morning to everybody. I know it's been a minute, so I'm excited to be back.
Man, it's good to have you back.
Man, I'm going to tell you all about it, but never would you think a week could feel like a month. But man, it felt like a month I was gone, bro. Yeah, I couldn't. When Gunner was like, "Well, do you want to? We could stay," and because they had the big rap party on Sunday night.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And he was like, "We can stay and leave tomorrow," and I was like, "No, man, I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's get home, man.
Let's
I'm
go.
ready to go."
You're done. You're ready.
We got home about 3:00 in the morning.
Okay.
On technically, I guess it was Monday or whatever,
Right.
So we got about 3:00 Monday morning.
That explains the 3:30 in the morning text message.
That
I
is
had from
exactly right.
I was telling everybody about that yesterday. I was like,
Yeah.
I got a message from him at 3:30 in the morning that said they're back and go do the show.
That's right. Go do it because I'm not coming in. I couldn't get enough sleep that way, and I was like, no, I'm going to go ahead and stay home.
Man,
But
I totally because after this weekend for me too, because I was only about an hour away from you, but man, I had to catch up on some sleep too yesterday. And
yeah. So
those trips take it out of you.
Man, first of all, I had several people, but talking to me about last week on the show, and one of them I was showing a house last night. I know this guy, and I've been showing him houses for a little bit, but. First thing he said when he saw me is, "Hey, Rich did a great job this week."
Oh, man, that's awesome. Thank you.
And Dear Gigger is how you see him in comments.
Okay.
His name's Joey.
Okay.
But
thanks, man.
But
I
yeah,
appreciate
he
that.
was singing your praises, saying y'all did a great job.
Oh,
so
well,
it was
thank
really
you.
entertaining.
Thank you.
So
Well, good,
thank you
man.
for holding the ship down.
Man,
for us.
thank you for trusting me for it.
Hell yeah,
I'll
man.
admit, the first day I was nervous, and Tuesday I was crashing and burning pretty good for the first half hour, man.
Embrace the suck.
Yeah, that's what you've always told me, man.
Yeah,
so
embrace the suck.
we rolled with it, and I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. Like I said, thank you for trusting me, and that was my main goal was just to be at least close enough to the entertaining.
To keep, I understand it. I used to say just to keep the bus in the road, on the road.
Yeah.
Not go in the ditch.
Exactly.
Just keep it out of the ditch. That's the best thing, to do. So, yeah, and we had a great time. I'm going to tell you all about, or a lot about it at least.
Yeah.
I can't tell you everything. I cannot tell you the outcome. I did sign an NDA, so, you'll have to wait like everybody else on the season to drop. But, yeah, we will talk about it. Let's, what?
I was just going to say, everybody's saying good morning. Crystal Ann said, good morning. Yay, glad to have you back. And she said,
Glad to
Rich
be
did
back.
great. So thank you, Crystal. Appreciate that. And,
Glad to be back.
everybody, Tactical Turkey, Little Doggy, Brad Elkins, they all say good morning.
Good morning to everybody. Glad that you're back in. Let's knock out a little bit of news you can use here. There's some stuff to talk about, and then after that, I'm going to lay out everything that happened on the blocks and my and Gunner's trip there, what that filming situation was like, and then I want to talk too about where you went and your announcing gig and how that went. I think that's really great and something that we want to talk about. I'm not sure who all is coming in today. I know that Michael Dampier is supposed to be in, the chef.
Yep, he's going to be in about 7, yep.
Yeah, that's great. Love to have him back in. So let's knock this out now, and then we're going to do a lot of stuff after 7 that will fill in blanks.
Even Jimmy Buffet's mom came on. Tammy says,
Oh,
good
Tammy.
morning, Patrick. Welcome back.
I love Tammy. Good morning, Tammy. It's good to hear from you, as always. So news you can use. The St. Louis mayor, this is not good. And I don't know, I'm sure everybody saw the tornadoes, but in St. Louis, Missouri, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
but a lot of the residents weren't warned. The sirens didn't go off.
Uh-oh.
He said they weren't activated because of human failure. I said a button to sound the sirens wasn't pushed after the warning was issued. I'd say you had one job, but you had one job.
Right.
To sound
You're
the
the
damn
button pusher.
Push the siren button. People, 5 people were killed and over 30 injured there. So, yeah, that's going to now be the sole responsibility of the fire department going forward.
Yeah.
Probably, whoever wasn't pushing the
Why would
button.
you not? Especially there's a storm outside. Like if I'm in that position, if there is any question, even if it's
they
not
just
clear.
forgot apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not one thing you'd want to forget.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if they hit a blunt or what, but bad look. A porch pirate with a conscience, pretty rare. One in Washington, D.C. after a package containing a $1,200 doctoral cap and gown from George Mason University was taken from a home. It showed back up on the sidewalk of Dr. Leah Carrington Boney. She credited news reports about the theft, which used her doorbell camera, as why the items were returned. Police said it may be the first time they had a porch pirate actually return something. But probably they got it and went, what am I going to do with this gown?
Right.
And then they did graduate. They're probably doing something better than stealing shit. I guess, we could probably, take it back.
Right.
So good for them that they took it back. Still an asshole for being a porch pirate. Just know that. Let's see. AI supercomputer was moved to an unused facility in Boxtown, Tennessee, and now residents say they're choking on smog from it. Residents are pressuring the Shelby County Health Department to get rid of the smog. Musk Company installed dozens of gas-powered turbines. They produce some kind of what they say are toxic pollutants. XAI doesn't have air permits, but was using some kind of loophole for a temporary turbine. So they're just saying, hey, there's smog, and they want to get it,
taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's near Memphis, by the way, which already has enough problems. If you've been to Memphis, they don't need any more. God, they don't need any more. Yeah. There are specific rules about flying the American flag, especially on Memorial Day. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs instructs on Memorial Day the flag should be flown at half staff from sunrise until noon only, then raised to the top until sunset in honor of the nation's battle heroes. Said if you're not able to display the flag at half staff, you can still display it with a black mourning ribbon to show respect. So that's just what their suggestion is. Yeah.
I'm just okay. Yeah.
Toy Story 5. They're making Toy Story 5?
I guess so.
Wow. Apparently Conan O'Brien's going to be in it. Huh. He'll play some new toy called Smarty Pants, which makes sense. He's a pretty damn funny guy. I didn't know they were making 5. I like Toy Story. They're funny. Those are funny movies. I don't give a damn who you are. Hulu drops teaser for the Amazing World of Gumball revival. Hulu's revival of Amazing World of Gumball has a teaser. The new show, now called The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball, stars, I'm going to say it wrong, Alkeo Thiel. It shows Gumball waking up beneath layers of dust and apparent ash with his alarm clock bearing. What is this? What is Gumball? I don't know what this is.
It's a cartoon.
It is?
It was a cartoon, like a kid's cartoon on Cartoon Network. And
yeah, I got you. So it moved from Cartoon Network to Hulu?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Nothing like walking out in your Iowa front yard and seeing a 9-foot python.
Nope.
What would you do?
I'd burn the yard. I'd set the whole entire property on fire, man. Just gas tank and all.
Yeah, the resident was unlucky enough to live that moment and obviously called the authorities. The python was actually named Sir Hiss-a-Lot. He was abandoned. They're not legal to own in Iowa, so they sent it to a rescue partner in Illinois.
Sir Hiss-a-Lot.
Sir Hiss-a-Lot, right.
Wow.
U.S. Representative.
Creativity at its finest, man.
Yeah, right. U.S. Representative LaMonica McIver, she is from New Jersey, was charged by the Justice Department yesterday, being charged for assaulting, interfering with law enforcement outside an ICE detention center in New Jersey. That was back on May 9th. The mayor was also arrested. They were trying to enter the facility, and body cam footage showed them pushing, shoving agents and stuff like that. Yeah, you can protest, but you really shouldn't be, hammering the law enforcement guys, whether you agree or not. I mean, I think protesting's fine, but yeah, if you start putting your hands on the law enforcement people, you're going to get what you get. Trump spoke with Putin yesterday for a couple hours to push for an end to the war. He urged Putin to stop the bloodbath, work towards a ceasefire. Trump said the call was very good, led to Russia and Ukraine agreeing to start peace talks right away. The White House is pressing for a lasting peace deal, but Putin remained cautious. I understand because Ukraine has not wanted to concede anything, and they're not in a good position to not concede something.
Right.
To be honest. Diddy, man, while I was gone, lots of stuff was happening with him. Did y'all talk at all about that stuff?
No.
The Diddy trial?
No.
Man, that stuff is wild, man.
We talked a little bit about, like, I think it was day one with the witness or his girlfriend or something, ex-girlfriend,
Cassie.
that was having to read all the text messages. But
yeah, now I'm not going to say, when you look at it and you look at how they laid it out, she's certainly not what I would call innocent in this.
Right.
Right. She, even after all that bad stuff happened, a week later, she was wanting to get back together. And, so it's one of those things where, look, it looks like there was a lot of creepy stuff going on,
Right.
a lot of freaky, as you would expect, crazy sex stuff going on.
Right.
Now, if they find that someone underage or under duress was,
Right.
affected,
Then
then
that's
surely
different. Right.
he should go to prison. But for right now, I don't know. I don't know where it stands. It sounds like they were being freaky crazy.
From those text messages that were read by her or whatever, I kind of said the same thing. I was like,
Yeah, I mean,
sounds like you just
look,
gotta,
let me just say,
It kind of sounded more like a scorned ex-girlfriend, that's looking for.
well, no, I mean, he beat her ass. You can't do that.
No.
that's jail. Period. But look, and I don't mean to be this graphic, so please forgive me. But if you're letting some dude golden shower on in your mouth,
Right.
you're involved.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Right,
I mean,
right.
look, there's a lot of things in the world that, no, that's a hell no. All right, I'm just saying no. My face is not a urinal. Okay, you're not doing that. That's not going to happen. Let's see. Mortgage rates back over 7% after the debt downgrade. Yeah, that's going to make a lot of people nervous. I think this will get corrected pretty soon. The problem with this is that Jerome Powell doesn't want to lower the interest rate, and so it's causing these challenges. This will be resolved soon enough.
Just love how we went from Diddy to mortgage rates.
Yeah, no, it's we just got to move on. Sometimes you got to make that hard turn, Rich. Just accept it and move on. Let's see. All right, let's get into more fun news here.
There's been a lot of that going around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. A Chinese woman allegedly forced to take off heavy makeup after facial recognition scanners at an airport couldn't confirm her identity. So she had to get wet wipes to clean her face of the makeup. She was being scolded by the airport staff. That video went viral. A lot of funny comments on it, but I guess that, her makeup, you've seen people like that, though, on social media
yeah.
where,
Yeah,
they look like this normal. They put this makeup on. It's like a whole different human.
Yes. I've seen it in person before.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, there was years ago, I worked at this job, and one of the manager ladies there, I'm not going to lie, she was pretty good looking, And then, through the week, we always got to see her. She had her makeup on and
Right.
everything. And then, every Saturday is overtime. They would just, randomly draw some employees and one manager. And I remember one time I was, one of the employees that got drawn. And she was the manager, and it was Saturday, and she showed up in her sweats and no makeup on, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how are you? I'm Rich. I haven't seen you around here before." And she was like, "I'm so-and-so. I'm your boss." And I was like, "Oh, have a good day. I'm going to go to my desk now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it
was
that probably was a little embarrassing, but at the same time confusing.
Yeah, dude, that's why I was just I'm
Well,
gonna.
Everybody's seen that one. It used to be viral, and I'm sure it still is. I mean, because it's so crazy. Is the one lady, she doesn't have teeth, and she's got them out, and she looks like maybe, God love her, that she'd been, in a crack alley for 10 years, and then all of a sudden she starts putting her makeup on, she puts her teeth in, and then it's like all of a sudden
damn.
she's knocked down gorgeous. And
Right.
you're like, man, that feels a little bait and switch to me. You know what I mean? If we get home and then you take those out and then we with no makeup, and it's going to be a wake up issue right there, because I'm going to think somebody broke in, like it's a home invasion. On Friday night, a 7-year-old boy in Merrimack, Massachusetts, rescued after being reported missing, leading to a multi-agency search. Amesbury police officer Tommy Nichols and Canine Meatball found the boy waist deep in a swamp a mile from his house. He was reunited safely with his family. The rescue team was praised for the rescue. That's cool, man.
Right, that is.
Because yeah, that's great. That's
Right.
great. That's
Good
a good
story.
thing about canines right there.
Absolutely. Cat wouldn't do that.
In Knoxville, no, hell no. Your cat won't do that. No. In Knoxville, Tennessee, nonprofit Knox Pride was facing a critical shortage in the food pantry due to funding cuts and shared the situation on social media. An influencer by the name of Matt Bounds responded quickly with a video that spurred thousands of donations in a single day. The overwhelming support not only replenished the pantry, but provided enough financial help to cover the organization's rent for 2 months.
Yeah.
Now that's good. That is using the power of the internet to do something good.
Right.
There's enough bad stuff. It's great to see somebody jump in and help people like that. That's awesome.
You were talking about the makeup and everything a minute
Yeah.
ago. Tactical Turkey said you got to lift the skirt to see if it's a chick and tug on the teeth to see if it's a crackhead.
Man, listen here. I don't know about lifting the skirt business, anything like that, man. Now we're going to have that conversation before any skirt lifting's ever done. Hard rock is, having a moment. This is a big deal right here.
Okay.
Sleep Token hit #1 on the Billboard 200 with their album Even in Arcadia. This is their first chart-topping album, and Even in Arcadia also broke records with the biggest streaming week for a hard rock album, the most vinyl copies sold by a hard rock band. They sold 47,000 vinyl records.
Wow.
That record was set 2 weeks ago by Ghost, who had 44,000 copies of theirs. So all of a sudden,
Hard rock.
is having a moment again, a little bit of a resurgence, and I think that's great. And I'll be honest with you, Sleep Token to me is a damn good band.
Yeah.
I saw them live, and I'd never seen them, never heard of them. When I saw them at the Hall, and when we went to see Nevermore, is that what is it?
Paramore?
No, it's Never. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but I am. But I'll think of it here in a minute. But it's one of my son's favorite bands.
Okay.
And
They're a rock band?
Sleep Token was one of the openers. Yes.
Gotcha.
Nothing More. That's their
okay,
Nothing
there you
More.
go.
And they opened. They were like, I don't even know if they were right before them or if they were two bands before them. But as soon as I saw them, 3 songs in, I was like, man, these guys are badass.
Yeah.
And then here we are. It's probably less than 2 years ago, and they're #1. But it's cool to see rock having a moment again.
Absolutely.
And just in time for Luke, by the way.
Yeah.
Just in time for him to really blow the hell up. So congratulations, Luke. The climate's now right.
Right.
Go ahead and let's blow this thing up.
He's going to be coming in here and dropping all the names the next time.
Yeah, Vantage Ruins, baby. It's time to blow it up. Alice in Chains guitarist Jerry Cantrell announced new U.S. tour dates for his solo album, I Want Blood. The tour starts August 16th in San Diego, includes stops in Dallas, Orlando, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, other cities. Wraps up September 17th in Nashville.
Oh, geez.
Hard to believe. I don't think it's hard to believe at all. You may get new Soundgarden music with Chris Cornell. Bassist Ben Shepherd said a new album with unreleased songs with Chris Cornell on vocals. He died in 2017. In a tribute post on Saturday, marked 8 years since Cornell's death, he shared excitement about a track from the recordings. The songs are tracks from 2015 to 2017. They were tied up in a lawsuit with Chris Cornell's widow, Vicky, but they had a settlement in 2023. So now they're hoping to get this released soon.
Cool.
So if you love Soundgarden, and I do, I thought he was a really unique voice, and he's just a great voice. The Predator universe is going to continue. A new animated film on Hulu, Predator's Killer of Killers. So you can check that out. That's going to debut. I guess a lot of people are probably happy about the animated Predator.
Right. Let's give it a few more years. It'll be real. All the bringing back animals and everything. It's only a time until Predator comes back for real.
No, it would be great.
Right.
I mean, why not? It'd be a lot of fun. Maybe we could have real aliens as well. Have them fight.
Right.
That'd be great. In L.A., Styles Barber Lounge had an issue with the local homeless population setting up outside the doors. So the CEO and founder, Shalom Styles, is that really his name? Because that is a great name for a barber. He tried contacting police in the city to help, but eventually took matters into his own hands. So when security cameras started beep and polite requests, to move weren't enough, he got creative and whipped out Baby Shark. Now he blares the song, and if people are camped out there until they leave. And, it wouldn't take but 2 or 3 times of Baby Shark for me to leave anywhere.
Yeah, dude, as soon as I hear
I'd
the
probably leave my own house.
I'd be done.
I'm leaving my own house.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if that was on my TV, I might leave.
Way to keep that going, man.
No, that's great. A New York State senator introduced a bill to ban octopus farming before it starts in the state. They said they're smart animals. They feel pain. It could hurt the environment. If it passes, they'll join California and Washington in banning that process.
Mitchell says, he said, how about that Sequin Barkley Madden curse cover, guys? Think anything to it?
What is it now?
I'm not sure. Barkley Madden curse. That's a
Are you
typo.
talking about he said, Saquon Barkley is who he's talking about.
Okay.
Being on the cover of Madden.
Gotcha.
Man.
He said, I know CMC with my Niners felt the curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough because it does happen a lot. The people who are on the cover of Madden often have something bad happen to them.
Oh,
and
okay. This is okay.
It's
I
an
got you.
odd scenario.
This is something new I haven't heard about.
Yeah, no, it's every player wants to land the coveted cover, but then something always happens,
like injury or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, and
so he's on the cover now for the next one, and they're saying, "I got you."
Yeah, I guess so.
You. I don't know, man. We'll have to see if it's.
Yeah, we'll
true.
see what happens, man. I mean, they don't want to lose that guy. I know that. Let's go ahead and get into some sports while we're at it. That was a good segue for us there. This week, the NFL owners are meeting in beautiful downtown Minneapolis. One of the major topics will be the final verdict on the tush push.
I thought we already had a final verdict.
No, they didn't. Philadelphia Eagles are campaigning hard with phone calls lobbying owners to keep their play as part of the game. Other reports suggest that revised language placing a ban on all pulling of the ball carrier could be what ends up seeing the play come to an end.
Come on.
I think that's stupid. Look, they came up with a play. You've come up with a way to stop it.
Right.
If you can't stop it, that's on you.
Right.
I mean, you can do it too. Everybody can do the tush push if they want to.
For real.
It looks like somebody could be trapped in our lobby area.
Yeah, that's our guest. That's
Okay, he knows he's all right in there then?
Yeah.
Okay. In the NBA draft lottery conspiracy theories, if that's your thing, Shaquille O'Neal just laid out some serious ammo. He was talking to Ashley Neville. Shaq told a story dating back to '92 where he said the commissioner, David Stern, pulled him to the side and asked him if he wanted to play where it's cold or where it's hot. A couple days later, the draft lottery happened and Minnesota received pick number 3. Charlotte was number 2, and Orlando, where Shaq went, was number 1. He did tell him hi. Coincidence?
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about that because the Dallas Mavericks traded Luka Doncic.
Okay.
And it's one of the biggest trades in NBA history. Some people say the biggest. And it's interesting. They have the first pick, and they're going to get Cooper Flag, who is an amazing player.
Yeah.
Who is going to be. There's a good chance he'll be an NBA great.
Okay.
This kid is Cooper Flag is the real.
He's got it.
No, he's got everything you want the players to have. Tyrese Halliburton, he had a viral video. He's showed an Indiana fans pacer wearing a Tyrese jersey being accosted by obnoxious Knicks fans. the Pat McAfee show tracked down that fan. His name is Hans Perez. He's a New York City firefighter and dedicated fan of the Pacers. He was able to pull some strings and get Perez on the show for some one-on-one FaceTime with Halliburton, who in turn offered up a trip to Indianapolis for Perez and a guest to take in Game 4, complete with flying and hotel. Now it's just up to the firehouse to determine if he can get time off. Well, they surely will let him have time off. I mean, come on, man.
That's a huge.
You got to do that, right?
Yeah.
You got to give him the time off.
You would have everybody calling up that fire department, and your phones would never stop ringing with everybody being
No.
like, "Come on, man, give the dude a vacation."
No, man, you got to do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. In the NBA East tonight at 8:30 p.m., it's the Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
The OKC is favored in this. I would pick OKC to win this one. I think that they'll handle the Timberwolves. I like Anthony Edwards a lot. Like, he is a phenomenal player, but I think as a team, OKC may be better. I could be wrong. I have been, and I could be. And it's okay if I am, by God. I'll be fine with it. I'm not betting on it.
We were upset that we can't talk about Thunder Nuggets anymore.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the games.
Yeah, no, I understand, man. You know, son of a bitch. All right, let's take a quick break here, and we'll be back in just a few minutes, all right?
No matter how far we've come, we're always 7 steps back. It's hard staying calm while I'm under attack. Just like that. Outside agitators have somehow made it inside. All these wannabe dictators, none on the same side, but they all aim to divide. How can we reach higher if we're down on the ground? Shots fired, it's that kind of small town. Nobody locks their doors, but too many killers around. Hey, if you have to die, it's better in a ball gown. We've got hard tongues and cotton souls. Is time telling us, or do we tell time? Rolled up sleeves and nowhere to go. Bit into an apple but got a mouthful of lime. Your tattoo says it's us until the end, but your lips are saying you're through. I guess even words in ink can be bent. Maybe we didn't use the right glue. How can we reach higher if we're down on the ground? Shots fired, it's that kind of small town. Nobody locks their doors, but too many killers around. Hey, if you have to die, it's better in a ball gown. Reload. Surrounded by bad players, we have to get back to back. Do we even have a prayer facing down these attacks? Just like that. Caught in the crossfire, assassins out to close the deal. Zero chance we survive if we can't find each other for real. Killers come to kill. How can we reach higher if we're down on the ground? Shots fired, it's that kind of small town. Nobody locks their doors, but too many killers around. Hey, if you have to die, it's better in a ball gown. Rat-a-tat-tat, reload. Rat-a-tat-tat.
Oh, yeah. We are back, and let's widen out. Oh, well, that looks pretty good, actually, right there, doesn't it?
Yeah, that does
It
look
looks
good,
pretty
man.
good. Let's see. Go ahead and talk there, Michael.
Hey, good morning.
All right, hold on. Try it again now.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah, that's
we
going to
go.
work much better. I like that a lot, yeah. All right, we are back and thankful to have you with us. I'm thankful to be back. You have tuned in to Patrick and the People, and we appreciate the hell out
I
of
forgot
that.
to tell you, we changed the name, man.
Did you? Is it Rich and the People
It is.
now?
It's Rich and the People featuring Patrick.
No, I like that.
Right.
That's a much better name. Comes right off the tongue so easily. Yeah. What's the acronym? Yeah, that works out great.
Right.
So joining us in the studio, one of our favorite chefs, Michael Dampier, and it's time for the Spa City Steak Showdown. Now that's coming up June 7th in Hot Springs, so that's just around the corner. I know, right? June. It sounds crazy to hear it's just around the corner, but it is. And this is a big deal because we're talking about first place in this steak showdown wins $1,000. But you got all the way through 10th place. It's a lot of money that's being given away. Tell everybody about what's going on, Michael, how this event works, what they can expect, and all that.
Well, the Steak Cook-Off Association has been around for probably about 10, 15 years now, and worldwide. There's steak cook-off in Europe, Australia. They do events in Mexico and other places. But this will be the 5th year that I'm hosting an event in Hot Springs. We always do a charity. So whatever's left over after we pay all the expenses and everything goes to a charity. Last year we raised a few thousand for the Humane Society of Garland County.
That's great, man. That's fantastic.
This year we're raising money for a missions trip to feed children down Dominican Republic refugee camps to go down and build a couple buildings, do some cooking, feed kids.
I think that's awesome too, man. That's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
That's great. So, how much does it cost to come? What do you get for that cost? How does it all work?
As far as, a spectator, it's free. Everybody
It's
comes.
free.
Spectators are free. We got vendors that will be selling their goods and everything.
Okay.
We've got food trucks that will be, Southern Chick Barbecue will be there.
Okay.
Selling barbecue. We've got snow latte. They sell snow cones and lattes.
Oh, wow. What an interesting
That is
combination.
very interesting. And then several different vendors. We've got an artist, Brian, from up at Batesville that's going to be coming in and doing some arting. Drawing and artist renderings and stuff like that, selling some of his artwork. But
So the people who are cooking, I guess you can't just go try their steaks while you're there, right?
you can't. Some will have extra steaks cooked up or whatnot. But that's why I'm trying to make sure we have food there for
Well,
everybody
sure,
to come
but
through.
mainly, they're cooking to compete for the judges, right?
They're cooking for
Because this is serious. This is a serious contest.
a lot of money's on the line. We've got right at $6,000 total that we're paying out.
That is a
steaks.
lot.
There's also a burger contest involved.
Oh.
And there's a kids cook-off. So kids will be grilling pork chops.
Really, that's cool. That's super cool, actually.
And no entry fee for the kids. So you can sign up at steakcookoffs.com and either compete in the steak or burger or the kids pork chop.
I would think that are these all individuals that are coming? Are these restaurants? Who's competing in these events?
Mostly individuals, mostly cook teams that travel the country that's trying to earn points throughout the year.
Oh, okay.
Trying to win prize money. The goal is for them to win a world championship. So the winner of Steak A, winner of Steak B, will get golden ticket to the World Championships in March down in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, automatically they get the
they
pass,
win. They
fast
get
pass.
the golden pass.
That's huge.
That is.
But
yeah.
also for the first year ever, and the kids wins the pork chop contest, they'll get a golden ticket.
Really? Wow.
Kid will be able to win and go compete.
That's exciting.
And World Championships is in March, being Fort Worth, Texas.
What about the burgers?
Burgers? They get a golden ticket too. It's called an ancillary golden ticket. So
Okay, so this is serious business. There's a lot on the line for these guys who compete this way, and I'm guessing you can come out and learn how they do what they do, and maybe become a better steak chef yourself. Is that possible?
these cooks will sit there and interact with whoever walks up. As long as you don't get in their way, because they're watching the clock to get their stuff turned in. But they're very good to interact with the public and everything.
Yeah. Now, is this an outdoor event?
It is outdoor. We're going to be in Hot Springs at 600 Garland Avenue. It's right in the middle of the heart of Hot Springs. There's a Christian college and church there that has 3 large parking lots that we're going to be set up in.
Oh, wow.
So these guys, some guys pull up in their truck and throw out a 10x10 canopy. Some pull up in pulling a
trailer
8 foot, 10 foot long trailer. Some will pull up an RV with a 20-foot long trailer.
Yeah.
Wow.
You've got all aspects, but it's open to everybody. Professional cooks, the king of the cul-de-sac backyard, they're invited.
So-
Restaurants are invited to compete.
As a chef yourself, do you feel like that the guy who has let's say somebody shows up and they have just a regular, grill, right? Just a regular grill, and they're going to cook a steak the old-fashioned way on the grill. Do they stand a chance against someone who pulls up with their, some kind of highfalutin type cooking scenario?
There's some guys been doing it a long time that pull up in a pickup truck and might pop out a 10x10 canopy. They might pop out an umbrella. They'll get out their little grill, and they'll win first place almost every time. I mean, it just depends. You can use different grills. People use the PK grill. Some use Weber. Some use, it's just several different kind of grills that everybody uses. So it's just what you put out that day and what the judges, like.
And I'm guessing that, these guys all have different, a lot. You probably, if you're a backyard chef, so to speak, right? If you're a cookout connoisseur, you could probably come and learn a lot of new different things that they're using to infuse their steaks or their burgers or whatever, different ingredients, different smokes, all kinds of things. Right?
Most definitely. All these cooks, they're all competing for money. They're competing for custom trophies, golden tickets. But if you walked over, they would probably show you every step of the way how they just did their layerology of seasonings and everything and injections on some things. So they're very, very open to help people. And I've also seen where, you've got some cook teams side by side, and one guy forgot to pick up something at the store. The other guy said, "What are you missing?" Well, I've got extra
Right.
over here, and they
No,
all help out.
I've seen that. We presided over the chili cook-off for many, many years here in Little Rock, the premier event, and so I've seen that in teams. They'll help each other out.
So it's a real good community. So I've got guys right now. There's 29, 30 steak A competitors signed up. We've got a steak B. There's about 27, probably around 10 or 12 burger cooks are signed up, and about 8 or 10 kids are signed up right now.
Yeah.
And there's some that will wait to the last week to sign up, but
Yeah, of course. Well, there's always those people. But
which makes it tough on a promoter because the promoter is the one that buys the steaks.
right.
So I have to know how many steaks to buy. And
right.
We're using Clampets up in Hot Springs Village,
Oh, is that right?
and they're providing the steaks. But that's a nice little check too. So I'm out
Yeah.
last couple of weeks of the event, rounding up sponsorships and trying to help kind of reduce that cost out of pocket so we can give more to the missions trip.
That's great, man. This sounds like, Michael, it's just going to be another successful event for you, man. I mean, and again, you said it's free to the public.
Free to the public.
I mean,
yeah.
it's free.
They can come in, wander around, visit
Just
everybody.
free.
They can take pictures, get their drone out,
Can
fly
they
around.
can they donate when they're there though? If they want to,
I
when they
will
come
not
in,
turn down any donations.
you might put a donation bucket there at the front.
We will.
Because
And we'll have some raffles here and there too.
yeah, because that's great to be able to have a free event like that. Get it, especially if you're a backyard chef, if you're a like I said, a cooking connoisseur, a grill connoisseur, this is your kind of event. It'll be a lot of fun to go to, and it sounds like a good family event too.
Oh, there's kids playing, opportunity to bring your child in there, teach them how to cook. They're the future state champions, the world champions and
Yeah.
whatnot. And we've got teams from about 8 or 10 different states going to be coming to Hot Springs. We've got a 4-time world champion, Johnny Joseph from Monroe, Louisiana, is going to be coming
Yeah.
up. And he actually won my first steak cook-off in Hot Springs.
Really,
But he's a legend in the steak world.
he's a 4-time world champ.
4-time world
Wow.
champion, Johnny Joseph.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people know who that is and will want to come up and get a picture or say hi or whatever.
Oh, most definitely.
They pretty good about that kind of
He
stuff.
is very good. Like I said, 5 years ago, our first event, we did a Friday night cook plus 3 cook-offs that Saturday. And that Friday night, he won the first one and made the front page of the Hot Springs paper. And he is a great guy. He gives back to kids and helps a lot, donates his time.
That's great, man.
He's also one of our sponsors, too, Johnny Joseph Steak Rub.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That is awesome. Certainly glad that you've come in to tell us about it, and please feel free to stick around. We're going to do a very quick break here with some commercials that I need to get in while I can, and then we'll be back to tell you all about my time on the block. So Hold on 1 second, and let's see if I can do this. I see you got the new buttons here. If you're looking for a vehicle, you know where to go. Fitz Auto is the place to go. Now, you can go online at fitzauto.com, or you can go in person, 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock. What makes them different? What makes them special? Well, they work with you regardless of your credit history because they're their own bank. They don't have to ask anybody else. It's up to them who they work with. And they have late model, low mileage vehicles. They're going to save you money. They're going to put you in something you can be proud of. And it doesn't matter, sports car, truck, SUV, boat, RV, camper, amphibious units. They've got motorcycles, anything you could possibly want on wheels and an engine. They've got it there for you. Check them out, fitzauto.com. Start there, in there. It's where you're going to go because it's the best deal. At Botanical Alchemy Nutraceuticals, they're a veteran-owned company, and they tailor CBD recipes specifically to you. Inflammation, if you need, anxiety relief, if you're trying to focus more, if you're trying to lose weight, they have a formula for you. And you know what? They'll tweak it a little bit here and there if you need to make it perfect for you. It's sublingual. You put it under your tongue, just a drop, and it's instantly effective and 80% absorbed by your body. The other CBD that you get, the gummies, the things like that, 20% absorption, not nearly what you want. And this is pharmaceutical grade. Go over to bantx.com. It's bantx.com and put in the promo code PATP25 to get 25% off. They don't just have CBD. They've got all kinds of products. They've got a lot of different hemp products. They even have CBD for your pets. Check them out. It's bantx.com, baby. All right, let's get back to it then. First of all, excited to be back. Never, as I said right off the bat, I never thought that a week could feel like a month.
Yeah.
And man, when you're shooting, 12, 14-hour days, boy, it does.
Well, I was going to say, I remember you saying off the start, it was a very intense schedule.
I thought
for y'all.
I thought, sometimes you think things are hyperbole, maybe they're just exaggerating. They were not exaggerating a bit about that. I do want to mention, though, that starting tomorrow night, so the 21st through the 25th, I am performing at the Looney Bin. I'll be one of the comedians, 3 comedians every night there. And so you can go over to the Looney Bin or looneyBinLR.com, and you can get tickets there. And I'll be doing a little bit of stand-up for folks this week, and then it culminates Sunday.
Yes.
And I don't know if that show you'll have to check and see if they have tickets still available. I don't know if it's sold out yet or not, but it's the Gateway Show, and it's a really cool show because it's something they do all over the country, but it's a show where the comedians, there's I think 5 or 6 of us that will do stand-up. So we'll come in. You have to be stone cold sober, no type of anything at all, okay? And you come in, you do your stand-up, and then they take you somewhere, and as I was told, get you more stoned than you've ever been. And then you have to come back and perform again and see how you do. So I'm just as intrigued to see how I can do on that as I was to be on the blocks, to be honest with you. I've been thinking about it going, well, I think I have a strategy, but I don't know if you can really have a strategy for that or not. I don't know what they're unleashing on me. So, we'll find out and see how that plays out. But so let's talk about the blocks. So if you don't know, the blocks is a show. We were in season 22, by the way. That was our season.
Okay.
And it is an entrepreneurial boot camp that is also a contest, a reality type contest. It's happening live as you're there. And so we were shooting for 12, 14 hours a day, from about 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock. And that was pretty much the time frame. There were some times where it would run a little bit longer. You'd have to get down a little earlier or something like that. So the drive up there was easy. It was about 4.5 hours from here to Tulsa to the Osage Casino, which I didn't realize, I think is on a resort. A reservation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you don't know, that's like a country within the country.
Yeah.
They have their own their own way they do things, their own governance, their own laws, their own everything. You
Yeah,
know? So
yep.
that was I didn't even know that it was on that, but that was really cool though. And we did go to the casino a couple times. Just for the record, we were staying at the casino, but. First of all, I didn't stay up late every night. I wasn't trying to go out and kick it, you know. Number two, I don't gamble. Not because I'm a teetotaler. It's not that at all. I don't give a shit about being a teetotaler. I'm just not good at it. And I warned Gunner of that, you know. And, you know, I think the first day we got there, we had just a few hours. Well, here's how it went. We got there, we check into the hotel, and then we had to go down to this theater where most of the show is filmed, and into this room, and they filmed our introduction videos.
Okay.
So basically, you know, we sent them a bunch of videos before we went, like the hometown video, you know, video with the family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they can use as B-roll when we're talking and doing stuff like that, right?
Okay.
And so this, though, is the interview with us about a little more in depth who
Right.
we are, what show we are, what it's about, you know, what we hope to have happen, you know, all those things, you know. And so that was exciting right off the bat because you're like, I'm filming already, you know.
Right.
So this is really cool, right? And so we did that, and that was a lot of fun. So he said, well, we've got a little extra time, you know, before it starts tonight. Let's go over to the casino. And I was like, well, I'm not gambling. I'm just letting you know now. And he goes, no, that's cool. I just want to spend $20. And I said, all right. I will say we spent an hour and a half on $20.
Nice.
We were at a roulette. It was not even like a live person. It's a giant game. It is a roulette in the middle,
Right, like,
you know,
yeah.
but it's not operated by a human. And Gunner was killing. He was killing, man. He went from 20 to almost $100 in a matter of about a half hour. And then the next hour, he proceeded to lose it all.
Yeah.
So when he got up, he made the really poor choice. He goes, here, man, take this 20 and you come on, man, you got to play too. And I'm like, man, I'm telling you, you would be better to bet the opposite of what I think. So he gave me $20. It took me about 8 minutes. And it was gone.
And it was done, yeah.
Done. Gone. Wiped out. I was like, do you feel good about that 20, Gunner? You feel good that you made me gamble now? You know, I told you, just bet against me. I'm not good at gambling. I suck at it. Man, when I was, I don't remember what year it was, but the last time I really ever gambled. Now, sometimes I lied. Sometimes Laura, you know, probably once a year she'll want to go to the casino, and we'll take $100 bill.
Yeah.
All right, and that's it. That's it. That's it. You know, $100, however long it goes, and then we're done. You know, but for real, the last time was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because look, I had friends. I worked at that time at Hank's Furniture. Hank's Fine, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a salesperson there, but it was right before I was the manager. And, you know, those guys, they had a bookie. And so they kind of got me into betting, you know. Now, if you never used a bookie, it's different. They're very different than you know, whatever you may think. And matter of fact, I remember I was on the phone with the bookie, and he told me, this is the spread I've got. And I said, well, the paper's got it this. And he said, well, then call the damn paper. And he hung up the damn phone on me. And I was like, I called him back and I said, I'll take it, man. But no, so I was down at this point $200. It's NFL season, and I'm down $200. And you know, in the 90s, and this was probably 93, 94.
Right.
$200 is like $500 now. You know, it was a lot of money to me to be down $200. And so I told my buddy, I said, listen, I'm tapping out. I'm going to pay the book, and he goes, you're gonna just do that? And I was like, yeah. He goes, no, listen you got to go double or nothing. I'm like, why? Why would I go double or nothing, man? He goes, listen to me, man. Listen, Patrick. Listen, I know football. All right. Tonight it's the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium versus the Indianapolis Colts, and they just brought in Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh was the quarterback,
All right.
not the coach. Okay, and Jim Harbaugh had been all over the place. He He kept a suitcase with him because he got sent to a lot of
What team did he
teams.
play for in college, man?
I don't know.
For
I
real?
have no idea.
Some technical college or something.
Yeah, probably a junior ROTC
Junior-
or
yeah,
something.
something like that.
Yeah.
Some kind of, junior college, I guess. I don't know, Biffney. But anyhow, so he says, look, the Chiefs are unbeaten at home. They haven't lost in 34 games or something like that at home. They're playing the lowly, hapless Indianapolis Colts, who had, I think, maybe won a couple of games that season. Jim Harbaugh just gotten there. He's trying to make it work. And I was like, all right, you talked me into it. It's a no-lose. You're right. I put that $200 down. Lynn Elliott, I'll never forget him. I hate him to this day. Lynn Elliott, the field goal kicker for the Chiefs, missed 5 field goals in a single game. 5. If he'd have made 1, they'd have won the game. He missed. How do you miss 5? About the time you miss the 3rd, I'm going to get someone else to kick, a cheerleader, anybody. Somebody kicked the ball besides this clown. He just missed 3 in a row. But no, they gave him 2 more opportunities. He missed all 5. So I ended up having to pay $400 in the juice, and I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm not good at this game, and yeah, that was not a good day to go home. I'll tell you that. That was not the day you want to go home and go, yeah, I may have messed up a little bit. I fucked up, okay? I blew the money for rent this week, and that was not a good feeling. So I said, no, I'm done with that. But so anyway, we left and went into the first day of or that night. And it was a nice catered dinner. They catered. I probably gained 8 pounds last week because every meal was catered. So you come into the theater where we did most of the shooting, and they'd have a buffet that they catered in from the hotel, and so you'd have a breakfast and then a lunch and then dinner. And sometimes lunch was as big as dinner, and I was like, man, I can't keep eating 2 dinners. And then they always had these desserts after, and it's like, when do you just have dessert that's that kind of quality? It's like, God, bourbon pecan pie. How do I say no? Shit, man. You may as well put a gun to my head. I mean, God bless, man. But
So what you're saying is we need to have Jamie back on the show.
yeah, no, I
Jason.
failed Jamie dramatically, and I got to get
believe
back
that.
on track because I have failed her in every possible way.
I believe that qualifies for a wheel spin, man.
Well, it will. We will definitely do a Wheel of Pain spin a little bit later. But so anyway, we get to the theater and have a dinner, and then Wes Bergman, who a lot of people know Wes Bergman from a show called The Challenge, or if you've watched the most recent season of Traitors, or if you've seen House of Villains. He is a well-known reality show competition personality. He won the challenge more than one time. And so he's well-known particularly as a villain.
Okay.
He's particularly known as a villainous reality show host, So, but he's also an entrepreneur, and that's what this is. It's an entrepreneurial boot camp and contest. So it was really cool to walk into that theater, and and I posted some stuff on Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to post some more stuff too. But you see all the cameras set up, and man, this is not some small production. I mean, they have got cameras everywhere, man.
Right.
You mind that phone right there? Just put that off of the. Yeah, it's weird how it interferes, but it does. But they had cameras everywhere. And sometimes, and they tell you, listen, we're going to tell you how this is going to work and what you can expect. And one of the things they said is, listen, sometimes these cameras are going to be almost in your face, and you can't look at it. Okay. Do not look at the camera. And one thing you learn, as always, reality TV is not always reality TV, is it?
Right.
Because trust me, if the take wasn't right, they would do it again. So there are things. I mean, the situations were real, but then they're like, "No, do that again."
Right.
Because you can't be making eye contact with the camera. You're not supposed to do that.
Okay.
And so a lot of people, that was hard for them to understand. For me, I did understand, what they wanted, so I didn't have that issue. But it was weird to have them like right here, and here, and this is the book. They gave us this notebook
Okay.
It's real simple, just a blank notebook, right?
Right.
So as we're going through these classes,
Yeah.
if you will, these seminars that they start with each day for the topic, you're taking copious notes because you're going to use them throughout the day as you contest.
Right.
And you'd be taking notes and they'd be right here, on you. And you're, like, man, you're so damn close, bro. Get off of me. So you had to think about, are you eating anything? Are you chewing gum? Are you doing anything? Because when you got a camera right there, you don't want nothing happening on your facial area.
Right, that anybody can,
Someone's going to go, look at this ass out. He's got a boog hanging out. He's got a big snot rocket up in there, and he looks like a clown. So anyway, Wes comes out. He greets everybody and kind of lays out the rules of everything. And, they go through the NDA stuff, the disclosure stuff, the things you can't do, because, I can't tell you how we did other than I can say we did fine. We did us proud, and I'm proud of it,
Oh, yeah.
But I can't tell you if we won. I can't tell you who won.
Right.
There are certain things about it that until it airs, I can't say. But there's a lot that we can talk about.
So there was one day that you had sent us an update video, and it was where you were kind of showing the stage where I guess everybody gets to go up at the end of the night if they're picked.
Yes, that's
and
correct.
you were feeling confident in that update video that you might get to go up on
I did
that
not.
stage. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Can you
I
talk
did
about
not.
that? Okay.
But I did get up on the big stage. Not that time.
Not that night, but
not
yeah.
that one. But yeah, it's such a different kind of contest than others because, for example, that particular day that we're talking about was about marketing.
Okay.
Or maybe it was, I don't know if that may have been day 2 when we were doing offers is what it's called. So you're learning in this particular day, you'd go in, we'd show up in the morning and they start filming the seminar and Wes, as I told you, Wes Berkman, he's the one who does it.
Right.
So, this guy that a lot of us had been watching on TV for years is giving a seminar and I'll give him this, he's highly entertaining.
Okay.
I did not realize that he was kind of a stand-up comedian type.
Oh, gotcha.
And it kind of was along the lines of infotainment. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
He's delivering a course, but he is entertaining along the way, so to speak. But so this particular course is about offers. So, how you position an offer to your client or end user. In our case, we're talking about how we reach more viewers, more listeners, more people engaged in the show, right?
Okay.
And so we had to come up with basically what they're saying is, look, you got to break through the clutter. You got to come up with a great offer that is going to be outrageous and sound impossible virtually. And I can hear they're doing some work in there. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm sure you can't hear it at all. Jesus Christ! Here, let's do this real quick. Let's take a super fast break and let them finish that
Pause
real
in
quick.
the story for a
and
minute.
we'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be right back. That's great.
I was like, I'm hearing something. Where is that?
Built with alloy and high-tech microchips, silicone skin and unparalleled grip, equipped with only state-of-the-art hydrogen battery powers my heart. All functions normal. Of course, it's without a doubt, I'm made with bolts and for errors. I have no glands that make me sweat. Nothing in my coding to create desire. So why does the back of my neck feel wet and my processor feel like fire? No moisture detected. I came off the assembly line from quadrant 301 blue, manufactured by Cyberdyne. Every part installed brand new. Diagnostics indicate all systems fine, but something must be wrong because I'm in love with you. Should I return to 301 blue? Deposit myself in the waste station. I find myself just looking at you. Surely this is some mutation. Let me just give myself to the robot arms from above. Being dismantled is all I can do. It's the only way to fight love. Activate Crusher. I came off the assembly line from quadrant 301 blue, manufactured by Cyberdyne. Every part installed brand new. Diagnostics indicate all systems fine, but something must be wrong because I'm in love with you. Goodbye universe, goodbye Feltry, goodbye to unreal dreams about you and me. And I just wanna tell you before I'm gone that system erase, system erase.
All right, I don't want to hear any shit. It's my first day back, so if the volume was too low for a minute, I'm real sorry about that. I hope you survived it, but it was better than hearing the work going on in the background here. But is so
Tactical said, "Man, Rich never turned the music so low we could
no,
hear it."
no. Rich is a much better host. I'll be honest with you. So anyway, so here we are, right? And we're in this theater, and Wes he delivers this. It's a 2-hour class.
Right. Okay.
And in this case, it's about marketing offers. So you have to, according to what we're learning. And so what you do is you go through this 2-hour class, you take these notes as you go, right? And so then they break you up into pods. And so there were basically about 100, really about 80 some, but some people had 2 with them. But about 80 some companies represented, or startups, or
That's
entrepreneurs.
still a lot
right?
of.
No, it is a lot. And so they break you up into about 10 pods. And so they have 10 different coaches, mentors who are also entrepreneurs. And so you go into this pod, you go into these different rooms, and they're set up with the cameras. You got the cameras all set up, and then multiple cameras. You got a handheld, you got the stationary camera, you got the clapboards, where, the Hollywood style stuff. And,
Right.
And so after you do it, you have 15 minutes. They give you a prompt, and you have 15 minutes to prepare a 3-minute presentation.
Wow.
Based on this prompt and based on what you just learned in that class. And so you've got no time whatsoever to come up with an offer and an idea, concept,
Right.
and all that. And then you have to present it to everyone in this pod, plus with the cameras in your face
Right.
and whatnot, And then immediately following that, then the coach would give a pop quiz on top of that. So I got to answer 3 questions about what happened too, And so then from there you go eat lunch, and you might do a breakout session of some kind. They had different breakout sessions where they'd have round tables, and you might talk about different things, how they impact an entrepreneur, or they weren't contest things. They were more of a confab where you're getting everybody together and you're trying to talk about a particular issue and how you
Gotcha.
might deal with it, right? So then you go back to, the big theater, and they announce who won the pod. All right,
okay.
because you don't know whether you won your pod or not, because one person, one company from each pod wins on that presentation, and they go up on the stage, to compete with the other ones for one to be the top of the heap.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's kind of how that worked all week. Now you get points in the pod for your presentation, wherever you ranked at, and you get points if you get on the stage and if you win on the stage and all of that. So that's kind of how the day went, but I'm not laying out as grueling quite as it was,
right.
because you do have. After you get done with the pod, a lot of times you'd have a round table that you do have to go to. You go to and you participate. And, one of them, for example, we talked about, why entrepreneurism is lonely, why it's lonely to be an entrepreneur. So, it was an unusual topic, but one that it's real. I mean, if you're a business person, you understand. If you're an entrepreneur, you get it, that sometimes it's even in my case, and that's what I was saying. I talk to thousands of people, literally,
Right.
and I have co-hosts and friends and people that participate in the show. But sometimes it's lonely because it's just you making the ultimate decision of what's going to happen or not happen.
Right.
And sometimes that's really challenging, especially if you're talking about investing any kind of money or anything, if you're spending money or, you want to do the right thing. And everybody there, it was so cool. The best benefit of being there, by far and away, the best benefit was all the people that we met, Gunnar and I.
Yeah.
And I was so glad Gunnar went because it was great to have him. Not everybody is, matter of fact, I'd say 90% did not have a team. Maybe 80%, but having him there from the technical side, and he's also more creative than people would know. And we had a blast. We had so much fun just cutting up, hanging out, and doing this. It was really fun because it's high pressure.
Right.
You're in a pressure cooker nonstop because the camera's always on. Doesn't matter where, they tell you right off the bat, doesn't matter where you are. In the hotel, in the rooms, anywhere, the cameras can be on you at any time.
Wow.
They had
So even in your rooms.
not in the hotel room, but in the rooms where you're doing the breakout sessions, anything like that. So if you say something or do something dumb,
It's gonna
get aired.
It could show up,
Right.
and you don't want that to happen, obviously. So there's a lot of pressure, but the people that we met, the other business owners and startup companies, so many fascinating concepts, these people they're just salt of the earth people, man. And they're from everywhere. There are people from New York, from Pennsylvania, from California, from, everywhere you can imagine they were from. We were the only ones from Arkansas, but there were people from all over the place. And there's literally no kind of idea probably you could think of that somebody wasn't there with something like that. So you're not just competing to be the best at a presentation. You're trying to present your entrepreneurial endeavor as the best one there.
Gotcha.
The most investable or the most, interested, whatever it is, you're trying to be as compelling as you can.
Right.
And but having to do those things on the spot, and have 15 minutes to do it. And I think we did really, really good. I was very, very happy with how we did.
That's awesome.
So I think we represented ourselves very well. And but most importantly, like I said, we probably have at least 20 to 25 guests who are coming on the show.
Nice.
As a direct result of that. So you're going to get to meet a lot of these different people because some of them had startups that were fascinating to me, and I was like,
Right.
man, I would absolutely love to talk to you on my show. And so the first day we got there, and this was probably the cool thing. The first day we got there, or the first contest day, we did good. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you straight up the truth. We got done that night, and we were sitting, Gunnar and I were talking, we're reflecting, we're back at the hotel room, and which is it's the same place. It's just the rooms are far from the, you got to go a ways to get to the theater and all that. It's a very big complex, the Osage Casino Hotel area. And we're sitting there, and so we're kind of breaking down the day.
Right.
And I'm like, so, I felt like we did good, but I feel like something, man. And he goes, man, let me just be honest. And I'm like, okay. He goes, you're too modest. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm too modest? He goes, bro, you've got to lean into your credibility. He said, you got to tell them, listen, I was, the host of the #1 show for 20 years, for 14 years as host. I was affiliated with it for 20 years. This is what I've done. Da, 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 da. And he goes, you gotta be willing to put yourself out there and put your credibility out there, and I appreciated that because I was like, well, he goes, I know that's not how you roll. I know that's not how you roll, and I was like, no, you know me. I mean, that's an uncomfortable place for me. I don't like to be that guy. I never want to be that guy. But he goes, but this is the time to be that guy. And I was like, no, you're right. I probably was, as good as we did the first one, it was like, I was like, no, you're right. So the second day when we came out, man, I did exactly that. And all of a sudden, man, for the next, probably 2 days, people, in my pod, when I did the presentation that day, when we got done, everybody lost it. They all were cheering. They were all wanting the website.
Nice.
And then everybody, apparently word got out about the show. And all of a sudden, man, people were just circling up around the table, around where we were. Man, I want to be on the show. Tell me about your show. What's the website for your show? And
Awesome.
no, it was super
That's
dope.
it. Yeah, dude.
It was a super dope thing to have happen because all of a sudden it's like, oh,
We're
we're
legit.
This is good. This is good. This is good. And our Instagram, man, if you went over there right now and just looked at over the since I got back, it's just
Right.
because all these folks are following now, and these are folks all over the country.
And I was going to ask you, kind of how the reception was to being a podcast, because, I mean, yes, we qualify ourselves as a podcast. And
Yeah.
there are, you can.
It is different than
Right.
most podcasts.
It's right, and that's what I was getting at. Is like the word podcast is a very saturated market.
It is,
but-
and I don't like that word, to be honest with you, because I don't. In my mind, we're a hybrid. We're a live
Right.
show, and it converts to a podcast afterwards. And I
Right.
see a podcast as typically a pre-recorded item that it may be a show. It is a show, but typically it's not a daily live show.
Right.
So this
right.
is somewhat of a hybrid. It's the only one I know of. I mean, maybe I'm sure there are other ones. I'm not saying there aren't. It's the only one I know of, particularly in our area.
Yeah.
But I don't really know anybody who's doing a show like we're doing right now. And that was one of the unique things that you come to find when you start to get around people is they start to tell you what they think.
Right.
And some of these people aren't afraid to tell you what they think.
Right.
To give you feedback, to give you criticism, whatever it may be. That they think, because remember, everybody's on reality TV now, right?
Right.
And let me say this. Some folks really want to be on TV. They really want to be on TV. You think you want to be on TV till you get around some people who really, really want to be on TV. They love that camera, man. They want that camera to love them. And but it was super cool having people come up and say, man, I'd love to be a guest on your show. What do I need to do? And it's like, wow, man, this is, here I'm in the middle of this thing, and all of a sudden these folks are coming to us, and I was like, this is the dopest thing maybe in the world at this moment,
Right.
that everybody was so excited about it. And so that opened up the world to us a lot more when I let my ass unpucker and just, put it out there for everybody to know, this is who I am. This is my credibility. And now here's my business.
Right.
Because the first thing I said was, that first day is I'm with Patrick and the People. We are a hybrid daily talk show and podcast out of Little Rock, Arkansas. We, have, celebrity interviews, entertaining type, topics and things of that nature, which all is true.
Right.
But it negated
Boring.
who I was before that.
Right.
So then the next day when I came in, I said, I'm Patrick Beam. I'm one of the #1 radio personalities in Arkansas for the last
Right.
20 years. I was head of the #1 show for 14 years. I've recently launched my own live streaming comedic talk show, and we're killing it out here, and this is what we're doing. And then all of a sudden, people are like, "Oh, he's somebody then." You know what I mean? And
Right.
Gunner was spot on. And it was one of those criticisms. You just go, "No, that I hear you. It makes sense."
Right.
It's like when you apply for a job. If you're doing an interview, that's the time. If you're ever going to make yourself sell yourself and put it out there, that's that moment.
Right.
That you say, "I'm the best of the best of what I do, and here's why."
Right.
But it is something you have to get used to. But I was like, yeah, no, from this moment forward, it's performative for me. Now I'm in my game, and in that third night, man, it was a crusher, man. I just crushed that third night. It was awesome. I felt great about it. Everybody was talking about it. That was cool. And the last day, when we got on the big stage, definitely was a big dub. Because I was by day 5, I'd figured out, for me how it worked best.
Right.
And because I love to write.
Find your groove and
Writing's what I do. It's
Right.
like writing a rant. I'm just writing a business rant, so to speak. And not really a rant, but the right formula of writing.
Absolutely.
And so, that was a lot of fun. What were the negatives of it? Long ass days. I mean, you'd be tired as hell. You come about 8 o'clock, and you've already eaten dinner and a big lunch probably, and you still got 2-3 hours to film, and you're like, Jesus, I just want to lay down. But I can't even act like I'm tired. I got to be like, because the camera, as soon as anything happens like that, the camera's going to show up. Every time I would, once Gunner went, hey, you're about to go to sleep. And here come the camera. And I was like, oh, shit. Get up. It's like being in school when you're like, oh, shit, So, you got to be on all the time.
Right.
And so, but I don't know, what happens. I don't know how they edit or how much time we don't have. I don't know. I know that there were multiple times they pulled Gunner and I to the side and did separate stuff, with us talking about something or doing something contextually
Right.
for the storyline and whatnot. And so that was cool to get. So maybe, how it goes when they do the editing.
Right.
We'll see, how much screen time that we have or don't have, but certainly was a lot of fun. And
Do we have a official air date now?
we don't yet. I'm sure that we will before long.
Right.
I just don't know how long it's going to take. It just is what it is, and I have to, like everybody else, wait
Right.
until it hits. Because right now I can't even give you a date.
Right.
Because I don't know a date. I think that they're going to open up a Facebook group for our particular class, our particular season.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll go over to the main. But then, for 2 weeks, they give us our own so we can all make sure we're connected. We have all the numbers from each other, and we can all help each other. And
That's cool.
yeah.
Stay in touch with each
Well,
other.
yeah, because a lot of these relationships, and that's what I was saying, the people relationships were really amazing.
Yeah.
There's so many different people, so many different type jobs. Like one guy, I don't want to give it away. One guy has a business that's really cool, and his business model, he has a couple of restaurants in Chicago. His name's Nick, and Nick was a dope-ass dude, real cool guy, real nice guy. And his business, he has a virtual assistant type business, but it's a little more than that.
Okay.
He owns 2 restaurants, both of which have no front of the house staff. So they have a drive-through, and nobody's in the drive-through. They have a virtual assistant in the Philippines, no less, who, when you drive up, takes your order. If you walk in, there's a sensor at the counter. They're watching it, lets them know you're there, just like a Ring doorbell would. Boom, can I take your order, please? And they take the order virtually, key it in, and then it goes to the cook, chefs, whatever, and then they bring that out. and that's pretty amazing, to be honest with you.
That is very interesting.
It's an amazing, it's just wild to me. I was like, wait, you mean there's nobody there, like, at the drive-thru? No, not at all. And I was like, yeah, I could see that. I could see that going somewhere.
That'd be
I could see
crazy.
that going somewhere,
Yeah.
man. That's, I'm just making a little show here. Some of these people were doing things that I was like, oh shit, that's like a real product that could really, you're gonna get rich. I might make money. You're gonna get rich. I need to be your friend. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was great.
That's I'm sorry, I just need to pause here real quick.
Tasha asked who the guest host was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, this
some
is Michael
clown,
Dampier,
some ass
Burger
clown.
Chef, yeah.
Oh no, I thought you meant me.
Oh.
I was like, I thought she was being funny.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I took her. She came in, I think she came into the show a little late, so I don't think she got to see Michael Dampier.
Well, it's just
okay.
an honor to be on Rich's show.
That's
here.
right.
And when you invite Patrick, because Patrick.
No, it's
left
always
this
fun.
year,
It's
yeah,
always
so It's
fun.
truly an honor. But,
Yeah.
But no, in your story, talking about your trip and everything,
Yeah.
it's no matter the outcome, it sounds like it was an awesome networking experience to be able to meet others and see what can grow from that.
Well, as a business, that's exactly right. Or entrepreneur or show, however you want to look at this, when you develop those kind of relationships.
Oh, she did miss the first hour.
Oh, okay. I thought you were having fun at my expense, which was a great joke if it was. And Landon said, glad you're back, Patrick, but props to Rich for holding it down. It was still a good week.
Well, thank you.
See, look at there.
Appreciate that.
But you had said what? Tell me again.
Sorry.
About networking.
Oh yeah, networking. You meet people from all over. So now, all of a sudden we've got followers from New York, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Mississippi. I mean, all these different states that now, if let's say they're watching today. They're checking out the show today, and they're like, "Oh, he is a funny guy. He's not just a put on. He really is got a good thing going over there. Let's share this with our friends."
Right.
And plus, they're all going to be on the show, or not all of them, but several of them whom we could be beneficial to them. Some of them, if you have such a localized product, like if you have a more localized job seeking service that's for the Houston area, then I'm probably not really beneficial to you at this moment.
Right.
Because I don't have the saturation in Houston that's going to reach your target.
Right.
But if you're someone like, for example, Lulu's Liquor Cakes, owned by a lady named Laura, and that she's definitely coming on. Not only is she going to be a guest on the show, she's going to send us some in advance because she makes
nice.
these cupcakes with liquor that are really, really amazing, And I was like, no, you're a perfect fit for my audience. No, we definitely want to have you on. I would love to talk to you more about that because she ships them all over the country. They come in a cooled container so that even if it's on your door, it's not going to be melted when you get there. And she's got some really cool flavors. They do some cool things with it. And I was like, no, we'd love to have you on.
Right.
But so, hopefully, if we have her on and she enjoys it and her friends and fans and everybody watch, then maybe they'll convert into listeners or viewers.
Absolutely.
And that's what you hope for. You hope that, I will tell you that I found myself in an unusual position. And that is that I know it's a contest, right? But sometimes, contests be damned. You're there with a bunch of like-minded individuals who are really trying hard to make it in a business world that's not easy.
Right.
Entrepreneurship is among the most difficult things to do. There's no safety net. There's nothing to protect you. There's no benefits. It's just you grinding. So I found myself, trying to encourage and support and uplift everybody around me, and that's not a put on. That's just how I what I am. It's what I do. But I focused, I think, as much on helping others as I ever did myself. And I just made some amazing connections doing that.
Well, and hey man, that's those connections are gonna, like you said, they're gonna build into more guests coming on, the show
Absolutely.
and everything,
It's
which
all
is gonna,
beautiful.
the thing we've always gone with, the raising to, whatever anyways, what I'm getting at is that
all lifting each other up.
yeah,
Yes.
lifting everybody up
That
and
whatever
going
thing,
through
yeah.
that experience, is could potentially even pay off more than just winning the contest.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is that and again, I can't tell you how we did. We did fine.
Right.
We did well. We're proud. We're very proud. But I can tell you that that was part of the focus. But as much of the focus, once you get there and you get around these people and you start interacting with them, you're like, man, I want to help them with cool ideas.
Right.
I think I have a lot of cool marketing ideas. I have experience in branding. I have
Absolutely.
experience in certain things, and so, I found myself helping a lot of people too. Matter of fact, I had a guy the day we were leaving, he came up and he goes, man, listen, when I launch, because he was in pre-launch, he said, when I launch, will you be a business coach for me? Can I ask you to be my business coach? And I said, yeah, bro, I'll be glad to help you because I just feel like you could really benefit me and help me grow as an entrepreneur. And I was
That's awesome.
yeah, no, I'd be glad to be your coach. I'd be honored to help you out. And I don't mind a bit. I'm honored to do it. It's great to be able to offer that to somebody, to have anything that you can share that might help somebody else be successful is cool.
Right.
It
is.
Now,
And you've done that for me.
well, enough about me. I do want to talk about you.
No.
I want to talk about this amazing thing that happened. Now, look, let's just take a moment to chronicle the journey of one Rich One Fall Rockwell. Rich, moved down here. He came here to Arkansas, and he joined the program. And you've had a lot of great things going on. I mean, your BCW is doing great. Mm-hmm. We've had great success there. You've had a lot of other. You got the in Hot Springs
The Wise Guys.
the Wise Guys.
Yep,
Yeah, the
that's
Wise
coming up.
Guys brought you in as an announcer.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so we knew that, right before I left, you had gotten contacted from online from a very large scale production, and that was going to happen not far from me in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. We were in Miami, Oklahoma.
Miami. And what was the name of that production, by the way?
It was the Midget Wrestling Warriors.
Okay, that's the name of the production. So don't be bitching. So,
Promotion.
but it's not a small thing. As a matter of fact, how many seats did they have?
They had 1,100 seats at that event.
1,100 seats, and it was
Yes.
packed.
Oh, yeah.
It was packed,
Wall
right?
to wall, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely sold.
So tell them what happened.
Well, I mean, so I showed up. I knew, like I said, you knew he had reached out to me, and they had seen apparently my highlight reel on Facebook and said, hey, we really like what we see in you. We want you to come out and announce. So I did. It was out in Miami, Oklahoma. I only know that because I asked everybody. I'm like, how do you pronounce this town?
Yeah, right.
Because we were saying Miami, and then somebody corrected me. Anyways.
It's Oklahoma, so nothing
Right.
sounds and looks the same. I mean, it's counterintuitive there.
So, but we went out there, and Pryor, the gentleman that runs the promotion, he's like, remember, dress, wear a suit, dress the part, and everything. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
And we
man.
talked about what you got, and
I picked
kind of
up a new little
strategized on
jacket.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had talked about that, and
Yeah.
so, yeah. So
And it was a dope ass jacket.
Oh
by
man,
the way.
it is. It is. I love that.
It,
jacket.
it was as good as you expected when you got it.
Have I showed you?
You showed me the picture. No,
Okay.
it looked good. I just
Yeah.
didn't know you said you like it.
It needs. I mean, it fits real well. It needs to go back to the tailor. I got to have a couple little adjustments.
Okay,
made.
okay.
But like, I love it. It's,
Great. No, it looked great.
It's
though.
the new suit that I'm
Yeah,
gonna wear
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But yeah, no, I showed up out there, and I did. I'll say this: one of the biggest things, one of the most, I guess you could call it eye-opening, whatever. Is that within the independent scene in Arkansas, and I'm not taking anything away.
Sure.
Everybody is different levels, and I'm
Right.
not trying to put down anybody that I've worked
No,
with
of course
before.
not.
I love them, and I'm still gonna be doing that, obviously.
Right.
But, with those shows, it always kind of falls on the people involved, the talent. You show up, you help put up the ring, you take down
Yes,
the ring, you put
yes.
up the chairs,
Yeah, you don't have a production crew.
Right. And
You are the
so-
production crew.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just like here on the show. We are the production
Right,
crew. It's
right.
us, yeah.
And so, I showed up, and we did all get together and help put up the ring, and get everything set up for the show. The chairs were already down and everything, and then after the show, everybody was in the back room and switching out of their gear and getting ready and going out and meeting with the crowd and everything. And so I just start doing what's normal. I go out and I'm like, okay, well, it's time to start putting up chairs and everything. And all of a sudden, one of the guys came up to me from the casino, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I said, I'm helping put up the chairs, man. You got to clean up, around here and stuff and start. And he's like, "No, you go do what you need to do. We've got this all covered." And I
Oh.
was like, "Oh,
Mind your
then.
business, lady.
right, my bad." All right. So,
Yeah.
we still did help tear down the ring. So there's a lot of things that are similar. There's a lot of things that are different.
Right, but this is a large scale production,
Right. And so.
and it's a national touring show.
Oh yeah. They go all over, even out of the country.
Right, okay.
And so I got up, I did my sound checks, and that went fine. And then I went back and I started gathering everybody's names. And the locker room was very welcoming to me, very off the start. Everybody, "Hey, how's it going?" and introduced me. And he told him that I had a lot of experience. And so we talked, and I got all the info that I needed. I'm ready to go. And he came up to me and he goes, "Okay, so what's your plan? How are you gonna?" This is before the show. He said, "How are you gonna kick everything off?" And I said, "Well, this is normally what I do." "Okay, great." Just before I'm heading out to the curtain, because he introduced me to the crowd, and he says, so he comes out, "Everybody, you're ready for midget wrestling time, and your announcer, Rich Rockwell." And before I walk through the curtain, he goes, if this goes how I think it's gonna go, I'm gonna want to talk to you after the show."
Yeah, and that's either always good or bad.
Right. And okay, so I go out the curtain and I do my thing. Right off the bat, I'm on, "What's up, Miami?" and high five
Yeah.
and everything. It went great. The whole night went great. I was very focused on not being sure my voice cracked. I didn't smoke a cigarette, too early before going out.
Yeah, you were delivering.
Yeah, I was on my game. And the first time I got in the ring for the first match, I did my normal introduction. I do, "Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall."
Right.
One fall.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Not some people cheered and clapped, but not my normal, the whole crowd yelling back "one fall."
Right.
And so I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, they don't know yet.
Right,
Yeah.
they don't know. And so it kind of hit me. That was when the nervousness set in first. Because, now there's 1,100 people that I'm in front of, and they don't know. And
They don't
I
know. They don't know who you
Right.
are or what you're about.
And
It's
so-
just like stand-up comedy.
I don't know, right. And so I don't know how, I don't know what came over me, but I was like, no, Miami. We're going to kick this off the right way. When I
This is
say,
what you
this
did?
is what I said. I
Nice.
was like, when I say one fall,
That's right.
you all come back and say one fall. And
Yeah.
so I was like, let's try this again. "Ladies and gentlemen, blah, blah, blah." And then all of a sudden, one fall. And I was like, all right, now we're
doing
ready to go. Y'all
Yeah.
are ready to experience the
Yeah.
announcing of Rich Rockwell. So it went well. We talked after the show. I'm supposed to find out more this week. But yeah, they basically want to use me for future events.
They want you to become a regular
Yeah.
component of they want you to become the announcer.
Yeah.
That's really the
simple way
bottom
to put it.
line, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. They basically talked to me and said, "We're
Yeah.
looking for somebody that
Yeah.
can commit and make it
Yeah.
to every show.
Yeah.
We'll figure out how
Yeah.
to get you there.
Yeah.
Are you good?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
Hold on, they'll
"Yes,
figure out.
sir."
They're going to take care of getting you there.
Oh, yeah.
Take care of where you're at, and take care of the.
Right.
I think this is phenomenal.
Oh,
This
man.
is such
I'm so
what
excited.
a great story of, taking an opportunity and turning it into a much better opportunity.
Absolutely. And going into I had no idea that's all I knew is they reached out, they wanted me to announce. I didn't
Right.
know if it was a tryout, if it was a one-time deal thing, if it was, "Hey,
Yeah.
our announcer's sick, this dude's
Right.
close, let's get him."
No, you're
But
going
yeah.
in blind, so to speak.
Right.
And you don't know, even though it looks like a good production, till you get there, you don't know what the turnout's going to be, anything like that.
Yeah.
And so to show up and it be not only a massive production, 1,100 people's asses in the seat, you know, and not only that, but you kill it. Not only that, but they're like, yeah, we don't just like you. We want you to just keep doing it.
Right.
All over the country.
Right.
All over the country, right? So yeah, if you can drive these, that's good. Otherwise, we're going to fly you.
Yep.
I mean,
Exactly.
that's amazing, man. That's
Like,
great. That's so
outside
awesome.
Outside of even those involved in the promotion, like we had taken a 20-minute intermission right before like semi-main event, and so being the one that I am, and of course, you know, hey, it's a good time for a cigarette. You can smoke in the casino, so all the crowd is out, you know, in the front entrance doors, whatever.
Yeah.
So I go out there to smoke a cigarette with the fans, you know, and hey, what's up? How's it going? And there was a couple of them that came up to me and, you know, said, hey, man, you're doing a really killer job. We're loving it. You're, you know, great announcer. End of the night, I was seeing Natasha's
Yeah,
comment.
I see this. I see she's defected. I've lost her.
Yeah,
I've
they
lost
came to
Tasha.
the rich
I've
team,
lost
man.
Tasha Mac. Yeah, no, it's all right. You know, it's probably fair. I've had her probably for 15 years
Yeah,
now on
it's
my
time
side, so it's only fair that she switch allegiance to the rich team,
There you go.
the rich gang.
I will say at the end of the night, after
What's up,
everything
Joey?
was done, it was kind of a feather in my cap. The main sound man that was running the sound for the casino. So he's
Okay.
an employee of the casino.
Okay.
Not with the
Not
production
even
at
with
all.
the production,
Yeah,
okay.
he's the dude that runs the soundboard at the casino for all the bands and everything.
Yeah.
He came up to me at the end of the event and he was like, "Man, you have a hell of a voice."
That's awesome,
And
isn't
I
it?
was like, "Thank you, sweet, yeah."
Yeah, no, that was funny too because not in that way, but that was something that as soon as I would start talking and you know doing a presentation in our pods,
Yeah.
because each day it's a different group of people, so they may not immediately know me, and as soon as I would start talking, they would be like, "Oh, you do radio? Yeah, you do." I'd be like, "Yeah, no." I had a lady go, "I could listen to you just all day, just listen to you talk," you know. And I was like, "Well, I appreciate that, you know, because this voice doesn't turn on and off. It's just the voice I have."
Right.
You know, I remember sometime, you know, a long time ago, somebody had texted and go, "Why do you use that put on voice?" I'm like, "What do you mean? It's the only voice I've got. I don't have another voice. You know, if I wanted to talk like a puker, I could do it all day long. You know, you can do that stuff, but this is just how the hell my voice works. I can't change it. It's like my face. I'm sorry. It's, you know, I'll try to change it, but probably not, you know. But no, this is great, man. This is fantastic. I'm so happy
Yeah.
to hear that for you, man.
We'll find out more of where I'm supposed to be, hopefully. So basically, they said they're covered for the next 2 weeks. I think this next weekend they're in Akron, Ohio, and then like the week after that they go into
See,
Canada.
now
and
you're
tour a
going to
little bit.
professionally announce for both the Hot Springs Wise Guys, the new arena football team,
Yep.
and a large-scale national event.
Correct. Yep.
It's
Plus,
a good.
still, I mean,
It's
I
a
still-
good day to be Rich fucking Rockwell, isn't it?
Man. It is.
Isn't it?
It is.
Oh, come on,
Hell
man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry, I should have
And
said
it all
Rich
started with you
Rockwell.
having your own hybrid podcast and having people like Patrick on. And
That's right. No,
others
he's
there.
done this very
And
well.
Now you're moving on.
He's really got a great strategy. That's why I'm clinging to this raft right now. And
Right.
We need
just
to
hoping.
we need to hang on tight to Rich. Patrick. I mean, we need to make sure that
Michael, you're exactly right. You know, that's right.
And don't worry, like I think they do a show like in the summertime they're a little bit more busy, but then it looked like I was looking at the schedule. It looks like they do one event a month or so.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna be.
Here's
around
Luke
here.
dropping
I'm not gonna
emotional
be-
support horses
What's
into
up?
our
Perfect
damn
timing.
chat log. You
You
know,
might need one.
I was talking about that, this. You know, our chat. I was talking about that a lot in some of our group sessions where I was like, you know, the beautiful thing for us is that, you know, if you join this program and you start getting into the chat situation there with the group, is it's like its own show within the show, its own family within the family. It is.
It is. It is.
I mean, everybody. You know, the greatest thing is that everybody here is lifting everybody up.
Right.
You know, and that's the coolest, probably, of anything we're doing. That's the stuff that makes me the happiest, is watching people like yourself, Rich, Bundy, Chad, Chad has some stuff going on, but I can't even talk about right now. I want to, and I can't. Everybody has stuff going on, and then all the great. It's the people.
Right.
It's the people. Hence the name Patrick and the people, because the people are what make this so awesome. It's its own family unit, dysfunctional as hell. That's to be expected. We're all from all walks of life, all types of experiences and whatnot.
And I've told you this before, and I know you all.
Little doggy said, "Stick with Rich. One day you could be famous." You might be right. I may have to hitch my wagon to him if this keeps. Listen, I don't know. I go to the casino with him right now, not me. I'll tell you that. Yeah, that's for sure, man. But it's the people that make it so amazing.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, I know that you always tell me great job, and that I'm the one that did it, and blah blah blah. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, while I will give you that, I have walked through that door. A lot of those doors have been cracked open because you've helped with being able to get those doors cracked open, man. And so for that, I appreciate you, man. I owe a lot of it to I owe it across the board. But the recent, I guess you'd call it, surge of opportunities coming in, man, have mainly.
Well, we've worked a lot together on different things and how to present, yourself and package everything and what to look for and go for. And, and you're like a sponge, bro. I mean, you just truly, you suck up the knowledge and you take it and you apply it and you do it. And that's why I always credit you. I may share insight with you, but it's up to you to utilize it if you choose to.
Right. Well, and I had that conversation, actually. That reminds me, with one of the talent after the show, and we were back at the hotel. I was outside, having a smoke, and she had come up to me and she said, hey, one, I wanted to tell you good job, and she said also I wanted to tell you, like, as soon as you did sound checks, I knew we were in for a good announcer. Like, I just knew
that's
that
awesome,
you
man.
had it.
That's a great feeling to have.
Right.
Brando said, look into voice acting. On Rich probably should do some of that too.
I've done it before.
Yeah, as have I. I've narrated college courses for the University of Arkansas. I've narrated films, a documentary and feature. I've been cast as a voice in a couple films. Nothing that got traction or was major or anything.
Right.
I've done. There's a few recording services throughout the country where I got paid to do some voice work for them. So you might call and get my voice, on some random company, where you hear me as a prompt talking about, press 2 for, you know what I mean? So I have leveraged my voice.
You'd like to talk to the billing department.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah,
That'd be great.
yeah. You will not find me on one where it's like, press 1 for butt plugs. That's not going to happen. But it would be cool, to do. I think the one thing that I haven't done that if I could do that I'd love to do with my voice is animated stuff. Because, I use my radio voice, but there's a lot of range that I don't typically employ here, and a lot of alterations I can do to my voice that I don't use, that there's no point of using it here. But I would love to do animated stuff and voice like an animated character of some kind.
I mean, why can't we do a Patrick and the People animated?
We might could. Maybe we could come up with something that would be funny.
Wasn't there a character talking about the clock stoppers?
Oh, yeah, the clock blocker.
Yeah, clock blocker,
Yeah, clock blocker. But no, Luke, I appreciate his comments there. He said, I watched Rich stop a thunderstorm with his mind just so an elderly lady could cross the street without getting rain. Yeah, no, that's where we've come to.
That's how awesome I am, man.
No, Luke, we were talking about.
I didn't know this monster was locked inside, but
it was. And I'm just, I'm just grateful, to be on any journey with you along the way.
I appreciate that.
I'm just thankful for it. So that's what it's all about, man.
Absolutely.
Luke, we were talking earlier about, man, the Vantage Ruins timing. And for those of you who don't know, Luke Shoemaker, I'm addressing one of our regular, well, he's a very good friend of mine, but he's also a friend of the show, and you'll see him regularly in comments. And he is our resident rock star. He is in a band called Vantage Ruins. And so, Luke, I was talking earlier about how Ghost and Sleep Token are blowing up billboard, and how that, man, the timing is perfect for Vantage Ruins. I mean, now, you have arrived at exactly the moment rock has returned to the top of the charts. Sleep Tokens ushered it in, so you can now own it and destroy it for the next decade. Let's say that. So that's what's going to happen right there. I'm calling my shot now.
Man, I agree.
I'm calling the shot now. That Luke's going to dominate the Billboard charts for a decade.
Absolutely.
Maybe longer, but at least a decade I'm going to give him. He's going to be that guy. And
free emotional support horses for everybody, courtesy of Luke.
That's great, man. That's real great, buddy. I appreciate those emotional support. You son of a bitch. Let's take a quick commercial break, maybe. These goddamn emotional support horses. Have you been injured? You need an attorney with a passion for people and an obsession with justice. That attorney is Tim Reed in Little Rock. Look, they've won $1.3 million. A lot of times you might not hear cool and attorney in the same line, but when I'm talking about Riggin Law, you will, because Kristen Riggin and her crew are just cool people. Going to an attorney can be intimidating, and you feel like you're being talked down to. They're talking in legalese, and it's scary. Not with Kristen. She's going to break it down to you just like I would, sit there and talk to you, kind of work it out and figure it out in the fair and right way. Doesn't matter if it's divorce or custody or if it's elder law. They do a lot of stuff to help out with, court situations where you may have a family member who's died and you've got something going into probate. Man, you don't want to argue with your siblings over that. Don't put yourself in that position. That's what Riggin Law does. They'll help you work through the probate and all of that. If you've got a custody issue, even a criminal issue, it doesn't matter. Kristen can help you. And man, they are an amazing group of people. You can give them a call, 249-1289. It's 249-1289. Or just go to rigginlaw.com and tell Kristen we sent you. David Lindsay has been a guest many times on this show. You met him, you know him, he's a great guy. He's also the customer service manager at Cabot Mechanical HVAC. They've got over 20 years experience, and I'm going to tell you what, David saved my butt. Somebody came in and said we needed a whole new system. I freaked out. I said, let me get a second opinion. David came in and said, no, we can fix this for $200. And you know what? Since then, he's been my guy. He's the most reasonable, honest HVAC tech I've ever met in my life. He's just good people. Give him a call, 944-5776, 944-5776. These guys at Cabot Mechanical will treat you like family, and you're going to be keeping them around like family because it's the best value you can get. And in Arkansas, you don't want to be without your air conditioning. Give David a call over at Cabot Mechanical HVAC, baby.
Through the rubble I rise, after being left for dead. Now I'm looking for trouble, all my gauges are red. Maybe to your dismay, to learn I'm not finished. I've not gone away, and I won't be diminished. I know you expect, but if you're out and see me, you better damn well come correct. My head is on a swivel, not gonna be blindsided. It seems your very best play may have been short-sighted. The streets don't give a damn about your so-called pedigree. You think I'm on the lam, but I'll be the one you correct. I know you're walking proud, got that nose way up in the air. You just better hope we don't meet until then. Well, take care. I know how you want it to be, I know exactly what you expect. But if you're out and see me, you better damn well come correct. You better damn well come correct. Come correct. Through the rubble I rise, after being left for dead. And now I'm looking for trouble. All my gauges are red.
All right, we are back.
Perfect time.
Oh,
If you
what the hell?
calm down.
What you trying to do?
I don't know what's going on, man.
Hey, real quick though, outside of all the success, of course, that you had on the blocks and that I had at the announcing event, I did want to give a shout out to everybody that came and helped me out on the show.
Oh, yeah, okay.
CJ, Don, Latasha came on a few times. We had
Yeah.
Outlaw from Dad's After Dark, man. I got to roast him, so that was kind of fun.
That's
We
great.
Chat
Did the
GPT
AI
roast.
roast? Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, he
That's
loved
great.
it. He loved it. Mitchell Rudder, he's a listener of the show, and he came on, man. And I thought,
I was sorry I missed him. Yeah.
yeah, but it was really cool. There was so much random stuff that happened during the week. Like there was one day I came on, and I think it was the day that I was on my own for like the first half hour, and I played some AI song of yours that was like a baby making song at 6:45 in the morning that everybody just died over. And
Man,
but Mitchell came on, man, and he was kind of a surprise guest to me. I didn't really know a lot about him, but he came on to hang out, and he brought his guitar with him, and ended up doing a impromptu kind of concert right here, man. And
that's
it
awesome.
went well, man. It was
No,
cool.
that's perfect. That's exactly right. Just shouting this out real quick. Tactical Turkey said, I'm a huge Luke fan. And Brando said, I listen to Luke daily. If you're not listening to Luke Shoemaker music or Vantage Ruins, you're missing out because the dude he's a true rock star. I mean, the guy's as legit as it gets. He may be salt of the earth and a great friend, and he is that. Rock star or not, he's my friend first and foremost,
Right.
and he's fun as hell. We laugh so much together, and that's always fun. But he is a star, y'all. I'm telling you, Mark. I've been telling you for 2 years as this journey's gone, and in this case, 8 months. But I've known Luke for a while, and even at the previous place,
Right.
I talked about it. But it's his time. And they're about to do a big show in Nashville, and their first show is at the second largest performance place other than the stadium or big giant arena,
Right.
in the city.
We I did want to pause for just a second and also
Yeah.
shout out Andy Jones and
Tactical Turkey.
Yeah, we still managed to have a rant on Friday. Even though
Yeah,
we weren't
man. Now
here.
that I
And
did
don't-
see.
Did you get to see that?
I did watch it, and I thought that it was you made a great effort, Andy. I really liked it. I thought it was very fitting to have that done. So I think that's fun. I'd love to have more people, submit their own rants or whatever takes they have on video like Andy did, because I think it's fun. Now, like anything else, if I don't think it fits, it ain't gonna happen. If I think it's too much, it's not coming on. You know what I mean? But he walked the right line. He walked it right up to it and had fun with it. And I was like, no, you stood on the line properly, and you used it right. And so I thought that was a really solid effort on his part, and I enjoyed it, and I was glad that he did it. I thought that's pretty cool to get the substitute one in.
Yeah, I thought we'd have some fun with
Yeah.
it. We had to. Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. Now, a couple things here that you need to know. Number one is the Looney Bin starting tomorrow night. I will be there all week long, opening up the show every night. And so I'll be performing stand-up comedy every night this week, starting tomorrow. And then it ends Sunday with the Gateway Show. You'll have to find out if tickets are available. That's the one where you do 2 performances, and you see them both. The first one is Stone Cold Sober. The second one, they apparently, quote, get you stoned like you've never been, and then you have to go back and perform again. So if you want to see if I can endure that, how I'm going to perform under that condition, everybody that's been to those previous shows say they're a riot.
Oh, yeah, man. They're hilarious.
So I think this is going to be a hell of a show on Sunday. But if not, you've got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Yeah, I think it's 2 shows. I know on Friday. I don't know if Wednesday and Thursday are also 2 shows, but you can take a look at that and see if you can get tickets for it at the Looney Bin in Little Rock. Now,
So I know we've got like Latasha, myself, I think Little Doggy's going to come down. Keith Daniels is going to come. We've got a group that are going to get together on Sunday for the Gateway Show. We're going to have, dinner or whatever, grab a bite to eat, hang out, and then come up and catch the performance.
That's awesome, man.
If anybody wants to join in on that, man, we're going to meet up there about
big old
5:30.
PATP crew.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's great, man, and I'm thankful for all of you that will come out and have some fun. And be sure if you do come to find me, let's get a picture or whatever. Let's talk for a minute. I do want to at least shake your hand and thank you for coming if you come out. So please don't. If you can, don't leave without finding me, talking to me, because I do want to say thank you. I do want to take a picture and all that because it's important to me, and I'm thankful for all of that. Now, this is not anything you're going to love to hear, but you're going to love the result. We're not going to be here tomorrow and Thursday. We'll be back Friday. Okay.
Yes, I get to sleep in.
That's right. Rich needs to sleep in a couple days. Number one, he hasn't slept in about a week. But more importantly, as you might imagine, going on a show for entrepreneurs and getting your business dissected and them looking at things, talking about things, we had some takeaways from there. And one of those takeaways is something that I've been talking about for a little while with people. We've swapped out the angle in the room. We've done some different things and come to realize that this setup, as cool as the desk is, and the desk isn't leaving.
That's good.
But it's going to have a different role.
Okay.
It's going to be more decorative to build out the look of the studio. We're going to put another table back where we were. It's going to be a different kind of table so that we can bring the cameras in and make it more close up like you see right now, better angles, better high def, and really leverage our cameras to get the best visuals possible. And you'll still be able to see the cool desk and stuff like that. You're going to see all kinds of things. It's going to make performances better. It's going to make everything better when we make this change. But it is going to take a couple days to do what needs to be done. And I don't want to rush it. I want to come back and it be right. So we'll come back Friday because the Looney Bin is bringing in the headlining comedians.
Nice.
We're going to have them in the house. We're going to have some other stuff going on Friday. So, of course, I'm sure we'll have a rant on Friday. You're overdue there. And so it's going to be a hell of a Friday show. Just know that you're going to be in the wilderness for a couple of days.
Just a couple.
Yeah, and I know that's tough, but Rich held it down for a week. We could have been in the wilderness and you weren't, so, but I need to definitely do this to make sure that we are presenting to you the very best show we can be presenting, because it's important to me that, as these people from around the country start to join into our family, and that's what's going to happen, is these people from around the country now are going to start joining into the program, and we need to have the very best visuals as possible.
Right.
A
couple of things here.
Why, Brandon, why are you saying a natural wood desk? Or what are you, a design expert now? What are you talking about, bro? A natural wood desk.
Joe Beth James Hales said they just got tickets for Sunday. So
did they? Okay.
They're still available.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
Luke
great.
is cracking me up in comments, man.
Yeah.
He's like, Chuck Norris needs to eat his heart out compared to me, you know?
Yeah, no, he said, I remember watching Rich defend a whole village from multiversal soldiers using powers of telekinesis. Yeah.
He said earlier, when Rich Rockwell does push-ups, he doesn't push himself up, he pushes the earth down.
That's correct. Yeah, no. Rich has become the new Chuck Norris. That's what's happened now, and so we appreciate that a great deal around here. You know. Oh, hey, this is great.
What's up?
Oh, this is great. Somebody that I wanted to have on the show just responded and said, "Hey, when do you want me to come on?"
Nice.
And this is a local person that I've been wanting to have on the show. And
Wait, so they were local? They were at?
no, this is a different thing. I know I'm
okay.
conflating things, but it just popped up in my message, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he was a really interesting guest I want to have on from right here in Arkansas," and just happened to respond while we were on the show, and I was like, "Oh, cool."
Right.
So yeah, lots of good things are happening for the show,
Absolutely.
and we're finally, hitting that acceleration moment.
Right.
Where the thing is going up. What we talked about a lot there is, and where I defined us, I said we're in what I call reclamation mode,
Yeah.
which is, at the station that sold its soul, we had, thousands upon thousands of daily listeners, right?
Right.
And so still there are a lot of those people who don't know, that we have left terrestrial or that we're not on terrestrial radio, but we are here.
Right.
And so, and they've left the other place
Right.
because it wasn't what they wanted.
Right.
And so I'm trying to find them out in the world.
Right.
So
Because they just basically are out there in limbo.
they may not know. So many of them, so many people I talk to every day go, "Oh, you're back on, you're back
Right.
on." So listen, do me a favor. This is the mission for all of us. Make sure that everybody at least knows we're back on.
Right.
Reach out to them however, talk to them however, when you're seeing them in person, because a lot of people still aren't aware. And that's the big thing is if we just reclaim the people that left there, we'll be solid forever, and then we can pick right back up where we left off,
Right.
which is dominating the world, which is the plan, still to dominate the damn world, right? So that's
Try
what we
to
want to do.
take over
with
the world.
That's right.
Pinky
That's
and
right.
brain.
That is exactly right. So that's the plan.
Yeah.
And so again, tomorrow and Thursday will be out because I'm going to get this right. Going to get this set up where that you guys would every day when you tune in, you're like, man, I'm way too close to Patrick's face now. I can see him way too close.
You got really used to that camera being right
Yeah.
in your face out there.
Yeah,
man.
well-
You just want to recreate that experience
That's
for
right.
everybody.
Well, it's when you do the far shots, like if I hit this, hold on.
Yeah, I messed with some of the
thi-
cameras.
Yeah,
some,
clearly you have. But see that shot is grainy. You can see me, you see what I look like, but it's grainy.
Right.
This shot is a much better shot.
Right.
Right. And I want every shot to be at least that clear.
Right.
So that's what's going to be important is making sure that we're delivering that because where I'm at.
Wearing some makeup or something.
No, we're not going to do it. You can. I'm not wearing any guy liner or any of that bullshit. I'm going to wear my wrinkles with
With
stripes.
pride.
Yeah, I've earned these wrinkles, by God. Yeah, no, I earned them. I'm going to hold on to them. But anyhow, so we've got great sound. I mean, our sound is top shelf without exception.
Absolutely.
Everything else on the show is flowing in a way that makes a lot of sense. There were a lot of things I found out, as we went through, where people were like, "Oh, you're doing that? Wow, that's interesting." Like, you know what? A lot of people were fascinated by, of all things, and it's the silliest things that you're like, everybody's interested in, right? We were in one of our groups and we were talking about the show and how things were done or whatever, and I was like, well, they were talking about what's something you had to do to work around something to make it work, basically. What's an obstacle you had
Right.
that you overcame with a creative solution.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, well, my obstacle was that sometimes I have to pee. and I'm running a 2.5 hour show every day, and I had no way to pee because basically I can't afford to pay BMI or ASCAP thousands of dollars a month so that I can play you the latest song from Imagine Dragons or whoever it is. We can't afford that today. I said, so what I did, stumbled across an AI program, and I started, because I write, I said, I'll write these lyrics, and I just started making my own songs.
Right.
And I said, so now I have a catalog of songs I can play so we can take a break. And they're like, they're all yours?
Yeah.
Well, with the exception of a handful, yeah. You wrote them all? Yes, I did. That's crazy. I was like, well, yeah, I guess so. It was just a solution. It was just a solution. But they were fascinated by this. Then they want to know, where do I go? And they wanted me to, play some examples. And so we had fun with that, but the people were shocked that it's AI, so we're doing a lot of good things and a lot of things right. And that was another takeaway that I had is we feel like, some of the things I learned that I feel like, and I'm open to criticism and feedback. Trust me, you know me.
Oh, absolutely.
But I feel like that one of the things that we were complimented on is creating engagement.
Okay.
That our engagement levels are high.
Right.
Be it on social media, through our chat, through anything to do with the program, our engagement levels and our social media look strong.
Nice.
So that was a compliment to us. Our creativity and, the way that we did the songs and some of the other things that we're doing creatively were good.
Awesome.
They liked a lot about the studio. The definition was one of the issues. Now, our challenge on that, part of the challenge is that where we're at, the internet is only so powerful without us going full Starlink for several $100s a month. Okay.
Right.
And right now I'm not prepared to make that switch. So we can only push out so much through the internet we have. Therefore, even if I had 4K cameras, I can't push out 4K
It's just,
because the
internet
broadband is not wide enough for that.
Gotcha.
But now eventually, will we get there? Yes, of course we will. If you need Rich to summon fire from his hands for the show, I'll do that. I'll do that. That's
since we are taking off a couple days, and I'll talk about it more on Friday, but I know we're
Yeah.
going to have a packed out show, and
Yeah.
and I guess for those that don't know, I'm pretty much on Monday through Friday with you now, right? We're
Yes.
gonna be doing
No,
that
that's
yeah, okay.
No, that's
Well, there you go, everybody. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I know we just started that last week, and I was just kind of here, but anyways,
No, you don't have to gloss over it. Yes, we have. It makes sense because technically you understand what's going on,
Right.
And you should be here every day,
Right.
and so you are here
And
every
I
day
appreciate
now
that,
going
man.
forward.
Thank you.
That's just how it worked out. Now Chad's still going to be here every
Absolutely.
Monday and Friday. Bundy's still going to come in. Everybody's still coming in and doing their
Absolutely.
thing. It's great to have a consistent two people so that you can make sure everything is flowing the right way and that at least two people know what's going on.
at least we have a couple drivers. So.
Right.
Well, this Friday, if anybody's interested, I'm going to be out in, and I know it might be a little bit of a drive. It's not too bad, but I'm going to be out in Batesville.
Oh, in Batesville.
For Rumble on the River.
Okay.
It's a really cool event. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be at the Batesville Senior High School at the football stadium, actually, for Batesville. Bell time 7:30. Tickets, 20. But general admission $10. VIP meet and greet $20. But outside of just wrestling. This is going to be a huge event. There's going to be a group there. Landlaw is going to be there playing some live music. They're going to have a couple of different bands. We're, of course, going to have wrestling. They're going to do some fireworks and concert and just hanging out after the event. And all the proceeds are going to benefit the Batesville Athletic Department.
Okay.
So,
All right.
come on out, check it out, support it. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, man, not just wrestling. We're going to have music, fireworks. It's going to be, kick off your Memorial Day weekend right.
Tasha Mack, I see your question there, and we will get together and talk about that very, very soon. All right, let me let me get the studio situated, and then we will
She's
talk
ready,
about
man.
that. I know she is.
Yeah.
She also, and this is way too kind. She said, "These people are realizing you're a genius, like we all already knew." Well, I don't know about that, but I appreciate that. That's so kind of you to say. The greatest thing that I've ever done is just assemble an audience of dope ass people, and that's really the bottom line. It's the people that make it. It's not me. It's you guys. So never forget that you're the reason that it all works, and you're the reason that we're here, and we love you for that very much. We couldn't be more thankful every single day
Oh,
for
absolutely.
the support that you give, and being away for a week and being involved in all that only made me realize how much more I love the people that are part of this in every possible way. And that's all of you out there, and that's Rich, and that's Luke, and that's Bundy, and that's Chad, and that's Amanda, and it's Tasha, and it's all of these folks, the Andys, the Mike Woodalls, all the different people who jump in and make this what it is, because it is the people. And we couldn't be more thankful for it. So
Man, that's
I'm
just so
sorry.
sweet.
Shut up, man.
No, we love you
But-
all too, man.
Thank
For
you.
real.
By the way, if you have forgotten, I am a real estate agent. I will say it it was difficult, but I was still working real estate while I was gone, and helped this young lady make an offer on a home. They're so excited, and they're going to get in this home for, I think when all's said and done, $463 or something like that. That's what they're going to pay to move into this home. It's just been renovated. It's an amazing home in not Conway, in North Little Rock, and they're so excited about it. Look, I can help you too. If you're a first-time buyer and you don't know what to expect, that's probably where my greatest forte is. It's that and negotiating.
Right.
So if you're somebody who wants to negotiate a good deal on a home, or if you're a first-time buyer, reach out to me, because it can be tricky. But if you know the right people, if you know the right things, you can get hell of a deal on a house right now, and you'll be thankful that you did. And I can help you get in for maybe little or no money. To be honest with you, I mean, it's several of them I've helped recently who've gotten in for, $500, $2,000, $1,000. I mean, it's not uncommon for me to do this anymore. This is common for me, and it's because I now have I know the right lenders. I know the right people that save you money. I've got all the connections now that are necessary. When you're shopping with me, one thing I have that I feel like is an advantage is if we see a home and we're like, well, we're probably going to need this repair and this repair, I got a team that can do that. So I can, A, either get a quote, or B, we may get it done before you move in, or at least get it paid for to happen right after you move in. And I've done all of those things recently. Mm-hmm. So I've got what you need if you want to buy a home. Just reach out to me. You can reach out to me through social media. You can reach out to me by phone, 501-575-5485. It's 575-5485. And just say, hey, man, I'm thinking about buying a house. Or maybe you want to sell a house. I'm really good at helping people do that too. And you can check out my reviews on Zillow. You don't have to take my word for it. Take my client's word for it. The one thing I'll say that I appreciate, which is a common theme in the reviews, is the phrase over and above. That means the world to me, because that's the kind of person I want to be. That's the kind of help I want to provide. When I help you get a home or sell a home, I want you to go, I would never even think about using a different realtor.
Right.
I would never think about it. I want to be that kind of realtor for you. The one that I helped while I was gone, her brother just bought. Now she's buying. Her sister and her mom are about to buy separately. So 4 homes, same family, different members of the family buying homes, and I'm going to help them all.
That's awesome.
It is awesome, and it's a blessing, and I'm thankful for it. So check it out. Come see me if you're looking for a home. Meanwhile, we'll see you back. Yes.
Luke says you're so awesome. He watched you build an entire house in 30 minutes, all while singing lullabies to the children.
That is actually true. I did that.
I know we had some storms roll through in the middle of the night. They got pretty loud. I don't know. I heard today was supposed to be like another weather aware day, so I just wanted to throw a shout out to Arkansas weather watchers and be
Yes,
sure
please
to pay
do.
attention to
Yeah,
them.
Arkansas weather watchers. Listen, I love these guys. They're usually ahead of everybody when it comes to these dangerous storms. Last time we had a real dangerous storm through here, I think they were 3 minutes ahead of any of the regular newscasts here. They're really good at what they do.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to at least use them as a secondary source. If you have a favorite, for example, TV station, put them on too. You can do it through online, or you can do it through, I think, like Roku or whatever. I think you can watch them that way.
Yeah,
Uh, But
They're everywhere,
but
Facebook,
use them
YouTube,
as at least your secondary. I use them as my primary now. They're that good. It's
Right.
Arkansas Weather Watchers. I'm a big believer in those guys. So big thanks to everybody, and we'll see you Friday. Okay.
Glad to have you back, man.
Glad to be back. Late.